Yes, please, please. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Do I have to tell only one point?
Now you can say what you want to say. I do not know if everybody has heard it. So if everybody remembers it also. So yeah, go for it. Thank you.
Prabhu, first we discussed that verse came in that Yada Yada hi Dharmasya, that Krishna comes whenever there is uh, religion, uh, and after that we talked about that verse where Krishna says uh, all the just like all the pearls are strung into a thread. So he's the nothing is superior to him. Matta Paradharam Nanya. So we heard that verse, and then we discussed about personal association with Krishna. We had a discussion about that.
It was your question. Yes.
These are some points I remember.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Who else would like to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Uh, we also discussed a verse in which it is said that out of many thousand among men, only one attains perfection, and in that also very few understand devotion and accept Krishna. Uh, Also, we talked about the qualities of devotees, that they are not attached to material things. They are not even interested, uh, let alone attached. They are not even interested in materialistic things.
Yes. Very good. Thank you. That is our goal. That's what we should be doing. We call ourselves devotees. But people have a very fine thing. I'm not a devotee, they say, but still they were very proud about their being devotee. So no hypocrisy. Yes, we are progressing. That's fine. We are progressing. That's all right. But let's not be hypocrites. Okay, thank you. Anybody else, please? Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare
Prabhuji,
Bol.
last week you have also added a point that we should not only be thankful for the people who we can see in our Guru Shishya Parampara, but also we should also be thankful to Vyasdev. We should also be thankful to Sanjay. We should also be thankful to Lord Ganesh, because of whom we are getting this knowledge, who have
That's right.
written this.
Yeah, that's right. We don't worship them as all in all, but we thank them. They're in the parampara. We are because of them. Yes, very good. Thank you. Yes, we had one more hands raised. Yes, please. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Bol.
Yes, Prabhuji,
Yes,
we
madam.
we discussed about hearing and seeing, that if we hear about Krishna, which will purify our heart, and hearing about Krishna means associating with Krishna directly. In this way, we may perfect our lives. And we also discussed about hearing and seeing. It makes us improve ourselves and make us realize ourselves. So it helps us to keep improving and self-realizing. And there was one more point, people are foolish in this age. They cannot understand that when we perceive the energy of the Lord, we may feel the presence of the Lord. And that is the reason Krishna's devotee is not interested in material enjoyment. They actually detest material life. One must actually come to detest material life. This is what we have discussed.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Very good. You all have made notes there. It is very nice. Yes, anybody else, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I remember the point that we discussed, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 7, that pulse rests on the thread. That and you were discussing that. Yeah, what does it mean? That we have different things all over the world, big opulences as well, but unless it's got connection with Krishna, it doesn't have any value. So I remember the one example that Srila Prabhupada also gives, that all these material opulences is like zeros. So we have so many zeros, but if Krishna is one, like one in the front, then it has value. Otherwise, it's got zeros. So yes, Prabhuji. So that point I remember about the last discussion.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Yeah, this being a very important just series of discussions, So if you want to, you must make notes, and keep the notes. Otherwise, I can tell you this: you will not even go back to YouTube to listen, and you will forget about everything. We're very busy with our things, job, children, husband, wife, family, fights. You'll forget about it. I'm telling you. So it's up to you. It's a question of our personal self-realization. So if you want to, then you must make notes. Anybody else would like to say any points, please? Okay, can you please switch on your cameras, all of you? Thank you very much. I'll wait for a few minutes and then yeah. Okay, we'll check it again. So, Krishnadas, are you ready for sharing, or you have to wait a couple of minutes more?
We're ready.
Ready now? Okay, so can you please share the next chapter? Then we can discuss the next chapter. Thank you. The Transcendental Matter and Supreme Yogi. Very nice. Okay. Divanshi Mataji, can you read, please?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can read. There's some problem. I was just turning on my video. My laptop is updating.
So you can read, or?
Yeah, I can read, and I'll turn on my video in 5 minutes once this is done.
Okay, no problem. Please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Na
Nahyasya.
Yeah, yes. The tune is Nayasya Varshmanah Pumsam Varimnah Sarvayoginam Vishrutau Shrutadevasya Bhuri Tripyanti Me Savaha. Shaunak continued, there is no one who knows more than the Lord himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature, a yogi, than me. He is therefore the master of the Vedas, and to hear about him always is the actual pleasure of the senses.
Please repeat again.
Shaunak continued, there is no one who knows more than the Lord himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature, a yogi, than me. He is therefore the master of the Vedas, and to hear about him always is the actual pleasure of the senses. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that no one can be equal to.
We just hold on to this particular verse, okay? See, here Shauna continues, there is no one more than the Lord, who knows more than the Lord himself. This first point. Prabhupada gives very nice purport on this, So that's correct. Let us meditate upon this. So Shaunak Rishi is one of the among the sages in Naimisharanya. He's the leader of them. So while questioning, we ask questions to Shukadeva Goswami, to Sudha Goswami. He asked this. So there is no one who knows more than the Lord himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature than a yogi than me. He is therefore the master of the Vedas, and to hear about him always is actual pleasure of the senses. So, you see, we individuals, we have to understand this point. There is no one who knows more than the Lord himself. If all of us know something, we can get some knowledge. We may have some knowledge, but we don't have complete knowledge. So knowing is very important. In fact, it is said knowing is half achieved. In fact, if you are sick also, and if you do not know what is happening to you, you are in more anxiety. But if you know what is happening to you, then the anxiety goes away. And the question of then taking proper medication, and you are done. Yes, sir. Yeah. So here, Shaunak Rishi is saying that no one is more who knows more than the Lord himself. So this is very significant. And said no one is more worshipable and mature yogi than him, than Krishna himself, than the Lord himself. Because if we as individual souls living in the material world, everybody is fighting with each other because they think they know more than the other person. There's a one-upmanship going on at every stage. So that is put to rest by this point. And because he is completely in full knowledge, he is most worshipable of everybody than everybody. And there cannot be any more mature yogi than him. He is therefore master of the Vedas. Vedas talk about material creation and spiritual world. That's why he's the master of the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita says, Vedesha Sarver Aham Veda Vedya. From the Vedas, I'm to be known, Krishna says. I'm the compiler of the Vedas. And to hear about him always is actual pleasure of the senses. Now, this point is very significant, that senses always requires pleasure. We are actually in this material world because we want to enjoy the senses. The moment our senses become blunt to enjoy, then automatically we become displeased with this material world. With the displeasement, then we can become Krishna conscious. See? This glorifies the Lord, this particular verse. Yeah? Now let us come to the purport now. Yes, Mother, please read the purport. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Just a second. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that no one can be equal to or greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in the Vedas also. Eko bahunam yo vidadhati kamam. He is the supreme living entity and is supplying the necessities of all other living entities. Thus, all other living entities, both Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva, are subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. The same concept is confirmed here. Nahi asya varshmanaha pumsam. Among living entities, no one can surpass the Supreme Person because no one is richer, more famous, stronger, more beautiful, wiser, or more renounced than he. These qualifications make him the Supreme Godhead, the cause of all causes. Yogis are very proud of performing wonderful feats, but no one can compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Should I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes, please, please.
Anyone who is associated with the Supreme Lord is accepted as a first-class yogi. Devotees may not be as powerful as the Supreme Lord, but by constant association with the Lord, they become as good as the Lord himself. Sometimes the devotees act more powerfully than the Lord. Of course, that is the Lord's concession.
So, we see this point here. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one particular episode in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in Mahabharata. Krishna, can you stop the share, please? Thank you. So, in the Mahabharata, we had a case where when Bhishma Dev, when he is in the bed of the arrows, dying, he had the power. When he leaves his body, he controls it. Yeah, very powerful. So all the Pandavas went to meet him. Lord Krishna also went with them to meet. At that stage, Lord Krishna requested Bhishma Dev to instruct Maharaj Yudhishthira on how one should lead life as a king, how best one should be acting as a king. So Bhishma Dev was very happy to see Krishna. He said, I was waiting for you, my lord. Seeing you, I'll leave this world. So the question is arised that how come that Bhishma Dev, who's dependent upon Krishna, waiting for him to come and he can leave the body. And Krishna requests Bhishma Dev to instruct Yudhishthira Maharaj in the presence of Krishna. Why Krishna could not instruct himself? So the answer given is this, what is given here, Prabhupada writes here, that sometimes the devotees act more powerfully than the Lord out of course, that is the Lord's concession. This is the real example of it. Yeah. So we must understand this. This is in the Bhagavatam, very nicely clear. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Krishna, thank you. You can share the screen.
Also used here is the word Varimnaha, meaning the most worshipful of all yogis. To hear from Krishna is the real pleasure of the senses. Therefore, he is known as Govind. For by his words, by his teachings, by his instruction, by everything connected with him, he enlivens the senses. Whatever he instructs is from the transcendental platform, and his instructions, being absolute, are non-different from him. Hearing from Krishna or his expansion, or plenary expansion like Kapil, is very pleasing to the senses. Bhagavad Gita can be read or heard many times, but because it gives great pleasure. The more one reads Bhagavad Gita, the more he wants to read and understand it. And each time, he gets new enlightenment. That is the nature of the transcendental message. Similarly, we find that transcendental happiness in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The more we hear and chant the glories of the Lord, the more we become happy.
Yes, see, Govinda, the meaning of the word Govinda, Go means cows also, Go means senses also. So the definition of Govinda is the name of Krishna, is that one who gives pleasure to the senses. Yeah? It's many devotees. Yeah. Okay. Please continue. If anyone has any questions or anything to share, you can just request and then we can have the discussion, otherwise we'll continue. No? Okay, thank you.
In the previous verse, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Devahuti, Putra, Kapil Dev, has been explained as Bhagavan Atma Maya. The word Bhag means opulence and Van means one who possesses. All the opulences of the creation are present in Bhagavan. As stated in the Vedas, Katha Upanishad, Canto 2, verse 2, chapter 13. Canto 2, chapter 2, verse 13. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. Nitya Bhagavan is the singular and Nityanam are the plural jivas or living beings. Nityo Nityanam, we are many, but God is one. There is no limit to the jivas. No one can count them. The word Anant means that they are without limit. All these jivas, living entities, are being maintained by the Supreme One. We cannot conceive how many living entities are being maintained by the Supreme Lord. All the great elephants, all the small ants, all the 8.4 million species of life are maintained by Bhagavan. Why do we worry that he will not maintain us? Those who are devotees of the Lord and have taken shelter at his lotus feet, leaving everything aside simply to render service unto him, will certainly be cared for. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we have over 100 centers, and Krishna is maintaining them all. None of our devotees are employed for independent incomes, yet they are all being maintained. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna never says, do this or that, and I will then maintain you. Rather, he states that not only will he maintain us, but he will also protect us from the results of sin, from sinful karma. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 66. All of this assurance is there.
Yes, but remember one thing. Dependent upon Krishna is one thing, but using Krishna to make money is another thing. That we have to be very careful about. Prabhupada at the same time says that if you display Krishna deity, decorate very nicely, show it to the public, and then ask for donations, that is not right. See, that is the reason why I was very much attracted to Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. Maharaj said he wanted to construct a temple in Dwarka and Rajkot. Maharaj said, I will not beg for donations from anybody. Krishna, can you stop the screen, please? Thank you. So probably whenever I speak, just stop the screen share. Thank you very much. So I've mentioned this in the past also, that Maharaj, I remember sitting on the stage and said that if Krishna is a husband of the goddess of fortune, if she wants to, he's got all the fortune at his disposal. If he wants to construct a temple, why should I become a beggar? And I was so surprised because around me, everybody was asking for donations. Every small thing, give me money, give us money, give us money. And he's one person who says no. And that doesn't mean it was struggle for a long time too. Don't misunderstand this point, you know. So Maharaj depended upon all of us to understand this and give donations, and support. But at the same time, 1 rupee you give and you have glorified so much. 1 rupee. I remember this. So this is very, very special quality of Maharaj. Very rarely you will find anybody as good as this. So that is the reason why these are transcendental personalities who has accepted Prabhupada's message in its whole, soul of the message. And whatever message I have received and I have witnessed, I'm just being transparent to share with all of you. All of you will feel the presence of Maharaj. So when you experience the presence of Maharaj in your life, then the blessings of Maharaj in your life, then you are in the shelter, complete shelter. You don't need any other shelter than after this. It's up to us. Imagine who will say this? Tell me one thing. Who will say this? They ask for money for every drop of the hat. We are doing fruit distribution, give us money. We are doing this temple festival, give us money. We want to have this temple, mosque, church, we want to do this, give us money. And here's one person who says, Krishna is a husband of the goddess of fortune. If he wants, he'll make the temple. Why should I become a beggar? This is powerful. And we are the followers of this personality. So never become a beggar. That is the reason why in our Hare Krishna weekend programs, there is no question of transaction of money. Although programs are going on. Now, we don't need your money, you don't need our money, but you want to do it, please do it. People come to us and say, I'll give you money, you do prasad distribution. We say, yes, we can do that, no problem. But we can teach you how to cook prasadam, how to offer prasadam, and how to distribute it. Rather than everybody coming to one person and one organization, and one organization does it to, he may do it to 50,000 people, no doubt. I'm not saying this is wrong. But imagine this, you are engaging 50,000 people to distribute prasadam. Instead of few people doing it. So give it to everybody. This is how the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to go to the whole world. It is very profound. Please, very, very careful. And what happens is this, that then it doesn't become a business, you know. So you have to pay manager the salary, you have to pay the super accountant salary, you have to pay devotee salary, you have to pay this salary. Only one salary people work, devotees come and work. Then it becomes a devotional services salary based. They require Brahmana, so they require Brahmana, Diksha, so they come and do salary work. Brahman doesn't require money, in strictest sense. They do not ask for money, but of course in Kali Yuga you require. I understand that point. Now we understand this. But why to go into this confusion, this situation? You see? So we expect that tomorrow you will have your followers, you know, teams under you. So some of you may want to say, I want to make a temple. Please do so. You should not do it. Please construct. I'll ask for donations. Please do so. It's up to you. But don't become beggar. Don't become business. Make sure that the business doesn't happen. I remember Maharaj would tell me this, that brahmacharis don't come here to our temple. You know, there were 3 people running the whole temple. You require huge, 3 people only. He said, what to do on this? I don't give money to people to do to do work, you know, service. Whereas devotee do deity worship, they want money. They got families and all those things. Here there is no money. You get prasadam, that's right. It's very hard. He said, nobody comes, nobody sticks around. He said, Maharaj says, bhakti bahut hai. There is a lot of bhakti in this temple. But money, there is no money. We don't give money. You see? So this is very important. At the same time, there is no shortage of money. At the starting point, you must understand these points, those in the intermediate beginners level. They do not be cheated like this. You don't construct a temple so that it becomes a business tomorrow. You construct a temple to remain temple, that's fine. You may say, this festival we are doing, we require, say, 50,000 rupees or 100,000 rupees, or, you know, we will require $100,000 for it. No problem. So you make a chart, you say, this is the amount of money we require. Pay yourself salary also, somebody pays salary, no problem. But salary is not really good. Prabhupada says no salary to Brahmanas. You know, in the temple, they should not do take salary, but it's going on rampant. See? So please don't mind me talking very plainly. This is how things are. You know? So if you say we require $50,000 for this festival, then you keep a count, to public count. We have collected $20,000, now $30,000, $50,000. Thank you. We have done everything now. We don't need any more money. Close it. Not that you keep collecting more and more, and then you go to holidays. You know that the managers go on holidays to Fiji and all those places, you know, in India and all these things, Vrindavan and Mayapur and all these things is going on everywhere. You know? Excuse me, wherever they are, go to Bali. This is not right. In the name of devotional service, we should not do such things. We have to be very austere. So that is the reason why in our program, in Hare Krishna weekend, we keep it very simple. You want money, you do hard work, earn your money, spend your money. Nobody's bothered. Correct? Then you go to Bali, Fiji, Timbuktu, go to Moon, go to Mars, who's stopping you? It's your money. But if you collect somebody else's money and go, that is very bad. That gives bad name to Prabhupada's movement and to Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we don't do such things. I know many of them will listen to my class will be very upset by saying this, but let them be upset. My business is not to make people happy, because I cannot go back to God if I don't speak the truth, man. Because want of, why should I say his real chest? What nonsense is this? My money is not coming from them, I should be afraid, or from anybody. My money comes from my money. Then I can speak correctly. Is it not so? So in Kali Yuga, please remember one thing. You should be financially independent to speak truth. You should be materially independent to be speaking truth. You should be spiritually also independent. So although we are dependent upon everybody's mercy, we are not dependent upon everybody's mercy. We are dependent upon Prabhupada and Krishna. You understand this point? Truth should never be compromised. Because Krishna is supreme absolute truth. Then suddenly organization becomes very important to you. Then you compromise on the principles. That is not right. This is Bhagavatam in practice. Otherwise, philosophy everybody knows, from Krishna, everything comes, all those things, everybody comes. Nobody is speaking the truth. That is the most important thing, supreme absolute truth. Okay? This is how it is. If you still want to do it, up to you. We may please do. We are not worried about anybody. We are completely independent of everybody. You see? Not dependent upon anybody else. Right? Okay? Anyone want to say anything? Any points before we move on? No? Okay. Thank you very much. Krishna, can you please share the screen? Thank you very much.
None of our devotees are, tasyaiva heto prayateta kovida. The word kovida means intelligent. An intelligent person should try to attain shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Human life is actually meant for getting in touch with the lotus feet of Krishna. That should be our only business. The word Upari indicates the higher planetary systems. There are 7 higher planetary systems, and we are in the middle system, in Bhurlok. Within this one universe, there are 14 planetary systems, and the living entities are wandering in different bodily forms on different planets. According to Karma, the living entity sometimes goes up and sometimes goes down. He wanders in this way, thinking how he can become materially happy and satisfy his senses. The Shastras say that we should not do this, that we should endeavor to understand Krishna. We should not worry about eating and sleeping, for the needs of the body are already arranged. We do not have to work independently to maintain the body.
This is the point. Here, Prabhupada is saying this. Please, there are 14 planetary systems, 7 at the top, 7 at the bottom. And we are in the middle. Our planetary system is in the middle. Okay. Now, these are planetary systems, not planets. Don't misunderstand. These are different grades of it also, in each of it, planetary system. So there are 14 levels in the universe, each universe. And among that, Earth, planetary system, earthly, is in the middle planetary system. We can go up or come down. Now, that is why Prabhupada says that he is mentioning that the living being, the jiva, is constantly struggling with doing his good work and bad work, suffering and enjoying the karma, and gets different births. Either on earth, there are so many kinds of species on earth. Even in our own body, as we discussed in the past, there are billions and trillions of microorganisms in the body. They are alive. So Krishna is in them also. And they control a lot of things of us. Or you feel like eating sweet, you say that is there, the microorganisms, the gut bacteria is telling us you require sweet now. Come on, give me sweet. We go and eat sweet. And we think I want to eat sweet. They're actually like robots in their control. You see, we don't know these things, you see. As I said that 1 teaspoon of sand, not in the cities like in metro cities and all, but if in a farming area, it has got billions of bacteria, and it should be, because that makes the soil alive. Everything is alive in this material world. They're also alive. We use them to grow our vegetables and fruits. We eat them. See, this is only one part of it. Similarly, there are so many planets in each of these planetary systems. And it is said that once you go down to the downer planetary system, and if you go to hellish, God forbid, if you go to hellish planetary systems, it is actually then nearly impossible to come out of the hellish planetary system. So for some unfathomable reason, we do not know that we are born on Earth's planetary system. And that too, now we are born as a human being. And that too, if you are born as a human being, that itself is great. And those who are born in India is even more beneficial. Because we don't need to have separate information to say soul is again different from the body. You see, if you scratch on the surface, people will understand what we're doing. Although they may be influenced by other blackish, other ignorant medias, ignorant world, the Western world or whichever world, So we must make the most of it. And this is how, this is the way we have to get rid of it. Do not wait for next life. Prabhupada says, don't wait for next life to say, in next life I'll continue. You never know. We'll not meet Prabhupada's books. Our prayer should be only one. That Krishna, give me the time so I can read Prabhupada's books. Please give me time. Please give me time. Please give me time. And when he gives the time, you must read Prabhupada's books. You must become warm of Prabhupada's books, as Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj has said. And here he says, devotees are not interested in making money and worry about things. And why devotees are worried about things? Yes, if you are married, you require to be no problem. Have a family, on your job. You may live in your palace, but live like a pauper, In the palace, you can live your palace. You live like, So nobody can, as Maharaj said, that Maharaj, Guru Maharaj would say that when our daughter, so we were living very simply in London, Maharaj said. We did not even have a fridge at London. And Maharaj was very prosperous. Don't think Maharaj was not rich. So we did not have, because if a fridge comes, that means you have to put the money, put the food and put in the fridge for you eating it after 2 days or 3 days, next day. So it is not beneficial for health. So Maharaj would say that because our daughter was marriageable age, and if people come to see us, they say, you don't even have fridge at home. So we have to buy fridge to show. And then when moment the fridge came, all difficulties happened. We all began fall sick, The freshness was gone. You see, in the past, in India, I remember, they would put food, if it is cooked in the morning, they would put in the water, in the pot, and the pot was kept in the water. So that's how preservation was there for the day. And next day there was nothing, finished. Whatever you cook should be eaten the same day. In fact, in India, you cook morning separate and evening separate. Even now there is a case. Is it not so? Yeah, Western, and we used to be thinking, Hare, in the USA and all, they cook for 1 week at a go. There's no time to cook. We used to feel surprised, and now we are seeing it. It's actually happening. Thank goodness we don't do this way. But it is so hard. The life is so struggle. In India, you're better off. I'm telling you this. You may think it is so bad, pollution, all this is absolutely right. Very pollution, noise pollution, people pollution, all this is very bad, no doubt. But this is going on. I remember we used to get vegetable vendor would come once in the morning. So we would go and pick up the vegetables from the vendor and cook for the morning. And another vegetable vendor would come in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. So you would buy the vegetables for at 4 o'clock for the evening prasadam. These are fresh food which to be made. I remember my mother used to do it. I've eaten like this. Life was like this. Now it is so hard with all our education. Husband has to work, the wife has to work, they both have to go far, come back, all stress, all distress. And what were we doing? Using fridge. Fridge meaning what? Cooking and keeping there for 1 or 2 days and keeping and heating it. And then there's microwave. Again, Maharaj would be so hammering us on microwave. I said, microwave? My God. So look at the name. There's a crow in the name. The microwave. How can you eat with a crow? What is this going on? Nonsense. And I always think I'm shameful. I have a microwave. Oh, 2 microwaves actually. But what to do? We can have separately. It's not like India, The Suchi kitchen, Muchi kitchen, they're 2 separate things. Once you cook, then we can't have it in the Suchi kitchen. So the Krishna's kitchen, Radharani's kitchen is there. We can't have that. So this is devotional service. Devotional service means what? There's chastity in our thought, chastity in our actions. That's why there's chastity in our tongue. What is chastity of the tongue? What is chastity of the tongue? Anybody? What is chastity of the tongue? Chastity of the brain. Okay, chastity of the brain. Mind. What is chastity of the mind? Means non-contamination. Chastity means non-contamination. Meaning what? You mind your own business. This is chastity of the mind. You don't worry about what others are doing. Yeah, you know everything. Yeah, Prabhupada says, don't make money of temple, don't make money of deities and all. We are not interested in anybody else. We are only interested in our own self. That's it. Chastity of tongue means speak the truth. That's it. Keep it simple. Don't create complications. Very, very simple. Please, your health will be secured if you do this thing. Peace of mind is peace of health. So as you are so much, people are so much troubled, you know. They are not happy in their skin. Have you heard this? I hope everybody is happy in their skin. You feel good in your skin? Or you feel, no, I'm not happy in my skin. I wish I could do it better. Excuse me. Chastity of the skin. I mean, sorry, are you feeling good under your skin? Work very hard. If you are not feeling good under your skin, then it is a very difficult situation. Many of the people in this world, they say, no, give me a chance, I don't feel good in my skin. The wrong decisions they have taken, you see. Because decisions have to be taken, actions have to be performed today by seeing tomorrow. Otherwise, if you take decisions based upon today's senses, you're done. You'll be fooled. So this is the point to be understood. This is Bhagavatam way. This is what we understand from here, from this point. Otherwise, even mature people with they do not take decisions thinking long term. What you speak has to be thought. What you act should be thought. And people are there, even they will criticize you for good thing and wrong thing also. But you should be very clear about your goal. Please, these are life lessons that Bhagavatam teaches us. Never take decisions, always take decisions based upon the future. So it is very imperative that you consider the past, the present, and future for taking decisions. You don't live in the future, you don't live in the past. But from the past, you can learn. Future, you know where to go, hopefully, and live in the present. You'll be happy, peaceful. This is how you must live in the present. This is the art of living. And that is possible by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra constantly, sleeping, awake, eating, good things, bad things. And second important thing is that please do not try to solve your material problems with material ideas. This is the worst thing you will ever do. You must try to solve your material problems with spiritual ideas. Otherwise, you create one problem, to solve it, you create another problem. Maharishi Goswami Maharaj insists upon this point. Do not try to solve your material problem with material ideas. Solve it with spiritual ideas. Be it your job, relationships, or whatever it is. You'll be peaceful. Material ideas means not be peaceful. I can tell you this, guaranteed. And what happens is this, that if you live like this, then those people, ignorant people who come in touch with you, you would not know what impresses them. So something is different about you, you know. Either you are more peaceful, they can see, you're more patient, or you are more clever. So there's something about you very attractive. They cannot point a finger. And they'll come to you, they do not understand anything. They come to you on sexual things only, because this is how they are animalistic. But you be guarding to yourself. No, 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 that is not all. They are like my spiritual concepts. So we should be very careful. Our thought, our action should be based upon past, present, and future. We learn from the past. We know where we want to achieve. Once you know what you want to achieve, then you live in the present and you say, okay, I'll compromise or I'll not compromise to go what I want to go. And pray to Krishna for guidance. Prayers are very important. We must pray. Pray to Guru Maharaj every day. Every day. Pray to Srila Gurudev Prabhupada every day. Pray to Guru Maharaj, you can follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions. That's the mood of Mahasi Goswami Maharaj. It's very, very imperative. This mood is very important. Otherwise, you cannot preach. Unless we are sure that you can understand the mood of Maharaj, we don't allow you to preach. Prabhupada message, anybody can learn and preach. Our thing is, Hare Krishna weekend, special mood of Mahasi Goswami Maharaj. Like no money, special mood. We can criticize only ourselves. Don't criticize other people. It's Mahasi Goswami Maharaj. But that does not mean we do not know things. We know a lot of things. Yeah? Don't ask me to follow you. I know who you are, but I do not, criticize you doesn't mean I don't know you. I know a lot of things, but I keep quiet. Yeah. You cannot make me stop talking. Yeah. You see, these are very important points. But if I'm dependent upon you for money, I'll not talk. I'm compromised. You see? My bhakti is not stopped by somebody telling me you cannot come there. No, my bhakti is not stopped. Programs are there. Tomorrow the program also stops. Bhakti will still continue. You see, bhakti is like yesterday's quote, Maharishi Goswami Maharaj's quote yesterday. Remember? Bhakti is very simple, don't complicate things. We should be doing bhakti, perform bhakti in any time, any space and time, in any circumstances, bhakti can be performed. Remembering Krishna is bhakti. Yeah, is it not so? Cooking for Krishna is bhakti. Chanting for Krishna's name is bhakti. But if somebody stops you, somebody binds you in the chair, he closes our mouth, still we can do bhakti by remembering Krishna. So bhakti is very dynamic. Nobody can say only if you do this, only then there is bhakti. This Bhagavatam, you must understand this very, very clearly. Please, in bhakti, we have to be dependent on other devotees. At the same time, be independent of everybody. You should know whom you are dependent upon. Stick to Prabhupada in the mood of Maharishi Goswami Maharaj. These two personalities. You'll be happy. Not even upon me. Even I'll fool you. I'll cheat you. Because even I'm lost. These two will not cheat you, personalities. Please. Okay? Understood this point? You understand this point? All of you? Any questions anybody has? No? Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's continue, Krishna. Thank you very much. Yes, mother.
Yes, Prabhuji. Tallabhyate dukhavad anyatah sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. Our actual endeavor should be to attain happiness. That is our real struggle for existence. According to the Shastras, Tallabhyate dukhavat, the word dukhavat indicates that although we do not want misery, misery comes anyway. We don't have to endeavor separately for misery. No one says, let there be a fire in my house, or let my child die. No one aspires after these things, yet they happen. Everyone is thinking, may my child live happily, or may I get so much money. We do not ask or pray for catastrophes. yet they come without invitation. Similarly, whatever happiness is there for our enjoyment will also come without our asking for it. The conclusion is that we should not endeavor for so-called happiness or distress, but should
This is
try
called
to
karma.
attain.
Sorry, this is called karma. If people say, I do not believe in karma, then tell them this. How can you not believe in karma? Yeah. Did you see unhappiness coming in your life? Yes, I see unhappiness coming in my life. Did you ask for it? No, I did not ask for it. It's coming, no? Yes, this is karma. You see? This is an argument for putting it. Similarly, happiness. We all strive for happiness, but we get only that much happiness that is quota given to us. Yeah? Wonderful. Okay, let's continue. Thank you.
We do not ask or pray for catastrophes, yet they come without invitation. Similarly, whatever happiness is there for our enjoyment will also come without our asking for it. The conclusion is that we should not endeavor for so-called happiness or distress, but should try to attain that position whereby we can understand Krishna and get shelter at his lotus feet. This should be the real human endeavor. It was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who said to Rupa Goswami, Brahmand Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasad Paya Bhakti Lata Beach. The living entity is wandering up and down from one planet to another, and is very fortunate if by the mercy of the spiritual master and Krishna himself, he can get the seed of devotional service to Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya chapter 9, verse 151. The Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt to make people fortunate. In this age, everyone is unfortunate, Manda Bhagya. But now we are trying to reverse the situation.
It's 15, 151. Yeah, 119, 151. Madhya Leela.
19, 115, right.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Can we can have one more paragraph, please.
Throughout the world, there are problems everywhere. One country has one type of problem, and another country has another. There is strife within governments themselves, and even presidents are fraught with problems. Sometimes we may think we are very fortunate, just as President Nixon was thinking. I'm very fortunate. I've become the President of the United States. Then he soon realized that he was most unfortunate. Actually, this is the situation for everyone. We should not think that the only apprehended culprit is President Nixon and that we are safe. There is a Bengali proverb, dry cow dung is used for fuel. And it is said that when the dry cow dung is being burned, the soft cow dung is laughing, saying, oh, you are being burned, but I am safe. It does not know that when it dries out, it will be thrown into the fire too. We may laugh because President Nixon is in trouble, and we may think ourselves very safe because we have a big bank balance. But actually, no one is safe. Eventually, everyone will dry up and be thrown in the fire. That is a fact. We may survive for a few years, but we cannot avoid death. In fact, it is said as sure as death. And what is the result of death? One loses everything. All honor, money, position, and material life itself. Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 34, Mrityu sarva haras chaham. I am all devouring death. Krishna comes as death and plunders everything. Bank balance, skyscrapers, wife, children, and whatever. One cannot say, my dear death, please give me some time to adjust. There is no adjustment. One must immediately get out. Prabhuji, should I continue?
Yes, thank you. Can we have anybody else that will volunteer? Thank you very much, Mother. Okay, yes, Mother, please continue. Thank you.
Foolish people are unaware of the miserable conditions of material life. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse 9, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukha Do Sanudarshanam. Real knowledge means knowing that however great one may be, the four principles of material life are present: birth, old age, disease and death. These exist in the highest planetary system Brahmalok and in the lowest Patal Lok. तस्यैव हेतो प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यप्रमतम् उपरे अन्नदा तल्लभ्यते दुःखवदन्यथा सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र कबीरब्रह्मशा. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet down to the lowest planet. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Verse 18.
Again, this is the definition of karma. No? Again, read this translation again, please. Thank you.
Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purpose end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet down to the lowest planet. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18.
Yes, in whatever circumstances, just keep on performing bhakti. Keep on performing bhakti, whatever happens. Because happiness, it may elude you today. We may not be happy today, but it will become happiness. It will come over a period of time. Just like sadness is not going, we don't look for it, but it comes to us. So it will come. It will come. Bhakti should continue. That is the point. Yes, brother, please continue.
When Dharmaraj asked Maharaj Yudhishthir what the most wonderful thing in the world was, Maharaj Yudhishthir replied, Ahin ahani bhutani kachantiya yamalyam. Every moment people are dying, but those who are living are thinking, my friend has died, but I shall live forever. Mahabharat Vana Parva, chapter 313, verse 116. Soft cow dung thinks the same way. This is the typical of conditioned beings. Bhagwan, the Supreme Lord, is not in this position. It is therefore said, Bhagwan Atma Mayaya. We come onto this planet to enjoy or suffer life for a few days, 50 or 100 years. But Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, does not come from for that purpose. Namam karmani limpanti. It is further stated, na hai asya vrashmana. No one is greater than him. No one is greater than Bhagwan or equal to him. Everyone is inferior. According to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 5, verse 142, Ekle Ishvara Krishna Arasabha Bhritya. There is only one Master Krishna. All others are subservient, beginning with Lord Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Indra, Chandra, and all the demigods. There are 33 million demigods, and the middle and lower species. Everyone is Bhritya or servant. When Krishna orders, my dear Mr. So and so. So now, please give up your place and leave. One must go. Therefore, everyone is a servant. This is the position of Lord Brahma and the ant as well. Yasya tav tavya indra gopam ante ventram ahyo swakarma. Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 54. From Lord Indra to Indragopa, an insignificant insect, everyone is reaping the consequences of his karma. We are creating our own karma, our next body, in this life. In this life, we enjoy or suffer the results of our past karma, and in the same way, we are creating further karma for our next body. Actually, we should work in such a way that we will not get another material body. How can this be done? We simply have to try to understand Krishna. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 9, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo yeti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti sarjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna.
Okay, just pause here for a minute. Krishna, can you stop the screen share? Thank you very much. So what I want to do is that we've spoken many things, many aspects. I want us to take a 2-minute break. Yeah, and all of us think about what things that you picked up, and the philosophy may be the same, but how are we going to implement some new things? Okay, if you can think about all those things, and we'll come back to each other in about 2-3 minutes time. All right, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, okay. Hope you had some time to reflect for this few minutes. Right? Now, make a note of all what you thought about. Now we'll continue with our discussion. Yeah, we are coming to a very important point. Krishna, can you please share the screen? Thank you.
This sounds very simple, but actually understanding Krishna is very difficult. If we become devotees of Krishna, understanding Krishna is easy. However, if we try to understand him by Gyan, Karma, or Yoga, we will be frustrated. There are many types of yogis, but he who is devoted to Krishna is the topmost yogi. Sri Krishna is far above all yogic processes.
See,
In
this
India,
point, how do we understand this point? How do we understand this point? Can you throw some idea, Mataji? What do you think? If we
yes,
try to
Prabhuji.
understand Krishna through Gnan, Karma, or Yoga, we will be frustrated. Okay, why? Why we will be frustrated? Why can't we understand Krishna through Gnan, Karma, or Yoga? What do you think? Because you're in the beginners program, I understand this, but what do you think? All of you are very clever people.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yoga is means connecting, and when we do Gyan Yoga, Karma Yoga, still we are connected to the results of it. But through Bhakti Yoga, means it is a simple process. Bhakti Yoga means connecting with Krishna, like, and Gyan Yoga, Karma Yoga, and uh, Ashtanga Yoga. There is a process, but in this, if we start like in Bhakti Yoga, we just have to start with Krishna consciousness, and it is not like each and every other process. The other process is having Gyan Yoga, means that we need to gather information, knowledge. But here in Bhakti Yoga, Krishna is saying that in Bhakti Yoga, you just have to do my do surrenderance to me, and or you can start your devotional service, and you will not get frustrated, because in other activities you need some result out of it, like Ashtanga Yoga, the yogis are preparing so that uh, they get knowledge. And in Karma Yoga also, we are not bound to the result directly, but indirectly we are doing it for the result. But in Bhakti Yoga, yeah, that's what.
Okay, no, thank you very much. It was a good attempt, very good attempt. Thank you very much. Yes, anybody else, please? Yes, Om Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, here it is mentioned the process of Jnana and Karma Yoga, which is quite difficult for us to, we are not that knowledgeable, we are not that, we don't have that mindset, so we can control our senses and perform this austerities. Also, we don't have that much of lifespan. Even Arjuna in Kurukshetra said, no, this is very difficult for him. So what are we? So we will get frustrated, and that's why Krishna and gave us, the shortcut. The Prabhupada gave us the shortcut that you only remember Krishna, you chant Krishna, this Krishna consciousness. The Guru Parampara gave us this. So we don't get frustrated, we don't have downfall, and we can attain this devotional service quite easily. No, it's their mercy. It's a you can attain Krishna, the devotional service to Krishna by this process also. But at current in Kali Yuga, it is not, we are not able to do this. We are not capable of doing this. That's why Krishna consciousness is there. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us this simple process of chanting Krishna's name, remembering Krishna. Because he knew that we will not be able to do this. We'll eventually get frustrated. That's what I understand.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. That was a very good attempt. Very good attempt. Yes. Yeah. We covered the points also. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else like to try, please? Yes, Padma Prabhu, thank you. Why only beginners level are saying? Why not the leaders are speaking? Okay. Yes, Padma Prabhu, please share. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, I think in the other systems, we are using our material senses or things that are material. Like in Jnana Yoga, like in Ashtanga Yoga, we are using our physical feats to uh, help us stable or control our mind, or we are using our mind because, but nothing is more stronger than Krishna. And uh, we discussed few minutes ago that we cannot solve material problems with material ideas or material things. So in devotional service, everything is spiritual. Whatever we are doing, even if we are doing our job, we are doing it so that we can earn and serve to Krishna. So everything is spiritualized there. So we are not frustrated because there is no material things involved there. That's what I understand.
Very good. Very good. All these points are absolutely accurate. Very good. Yes, please. Let's hear from the seniors now. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Babuji. Yeah, with the Gyan Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga or meditation, those we try to we're doing everything on dint of our capacity or our strength. But on the other hand, a devotee is 100% dependent on Krishna. In Bhakti Yoga, to know Krishna, as in the beginning, in the verse, Lord Kapila is saying that it's only him who knows. So we can't know Krishna, we can't achieve Krishna dint of our strength, because it's only when we are fully dependent on Krishna, it's only his causeless mercy that we can understand some pastimes of Krishna. But other than that, these yoga systems, we will be frustrated because it's beyond our capacity to understand Krishna. And yes, and again, the yogis, they achieve some mystic powers. They do yogas to achieve those powers. They can bewilder them, those mystic powers. So yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Very good. Now just expand this. Take it further. Don't stop at this place. So what do you mean we are limited? Meaning what? So what happens? Jnana, karma, yoga.
Sorry, Prabhuji, we are?
When you say we are limited, you said.
Yeah, so because we try to do those in these yogic processes, we're following different processes, like different restrictions of senses and all the rules and regulations, just to achieve the liberation. But in Bhakti Yoga, real bhakti starts at the level of liberation. So liberation means we know that we are spirit soul, we are not this body, and we are part and parcel of the Lord. So their aim is to achieve liberation. But devotee's aim, devotee or real devotional service starts from liberated stage. So that's what I understand.
Yeah, but those who are not real devotees, those who are not on the liberated state, then how does this work?
How to understand how this yoga system works? Probably?
No, you said the devotee starting devotional service starts at the liberation stage.
Yes.
But there is advanced stage. Anyway.
Yes.
But those who are meditation or philosophers also come to the final stage of liberation.
Yes.
So those who are not at the liberated stage and still doing bhakti, how about that?
Yeah, they are in the process probably. So it's
so
not like that in bhakti we don't follow rules and regulations. We have to follow rules and regulations. We have to follow the process. Yes, so we are in a process until we achieve that stage to become purified.
Yeah, but till that stage, why Gnana, Karma, and Yoga will be frustrated? Even in that stage. It's not that this you'll become, if you follow Gnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. In advanced stage, you get frustrated. Oh, it's like at every stage you get frustrated. How is that?
Yeah, because there's no personal aspect of Krishna in there.
Yeah, the answer should be very simple.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, you want to say something?
Yes, Prabhuji. I think, my understanding, Prabhuji, because Prabhupada actually spoke on this point many times. He mentioned this, that, you cannot understand Krishna by jnana karma or yogic process. Because Krishna, I think you cannot conceive Krishna on the dint of your own, intelligence or limited senses. Because that's what actually philosophical speculator, they try to speculate and understand Krishna. And even actually with the jnanis or karmis, there is always a material desire. They want to achieve something material. So that's why actually Srila Prabhupada says that no matter actually you sometime you born as a actually you can be jnani karmi, you can spend many lifetimes try to actually understand Krishna like that. But in the end, you will be frustrated. So until you come to the point where you accept Krishna as the supreme, and you are actually ready to surrender, so without having any material motives, because that's what we call actually bhakti yoga, isn't it? Because even as a karmi, we have still want to actually achieve something material, or even jnani, they want to have something desires that are material. So that's why actually they get frustrated, probably. Yeah.
That is correct. Both of your points are also valid, on this, that's correct. Now just see, most of the time, the very complex, it's not complex, most of the time the main answers are very simple answers. See, Janma, Karma and Yoga. Gnana, Karma and Yoga, excuse me. So, Gnana Yoga, we cannot have complete knowledge. We discussed in the very first starting of this discussion, Prabhupada mentioned, like Sanjay Prabhu mentioned this, that Krishna is the knower of everything. We spend time on understanding this. He's got complete knowledge. We don't have complete knowledge. That's why we'll get frustrated. You see? And as you correctly mentioned, and Sanjay Prabhu mentioned, that we have a limited capacity we have got. That's right. So we're going to get frustrated by this. This answer for Gnana Yoga. We understand? It's very simple. Without limited brain, limited capacity, we cannot understand infinite. Because Krishna as Paramatma is knower of all living beings going on in their heart. We cannot comprehend what is going on in our own heart, most of the time. Yeah? Okay. So let's Gnan. Karma, we don't even know our sanchit karmas, what karmas we are going to face, happiness and distress going to come. We don't even know that. Because the capacity is very limited. So by karma yoga, we cannot understand Krishna also. Because we do not know what tomorrow karma is going to bring in for us. Or in the next moment as well. And yoga, Ashtanga yoga has got its own limitation. It's very hard, difficult to do. You see? So by Ashtanga yoga, you can never understand Krishna. Yeah. And then by bhakti yoga, there's a direct connection with Krishna, with devotion. So as all of you correctly said, we are dependent upon Krishna in bhakti yoga. Yeah. And then Krishna takes over. He says that I give the knowledge by which they can come to me. In the Bhagavad Gita seed verses, he says, I give the knowledge by which they can come to me. Not that we attain knowledge by which we can come to Krishna. He never says that. This is the answer. Is this clear? It's very simple. Yeah. Always, if you understand the principle, then you can understand the answers very basic, very clear-cut answer. So all answers are very correct. That's whole Krishna consciousness, But it comes down to this part. If we are limited, he's infinite. So what will by our knowledge, how can we think about him who's got complete knowledge of everything? All universes, all living beings. We cannot. We don't even know about our own karma. How can we know about karmas? How they interact? Why somebody else wins, somebody else loses, Why? We do not know. He knows. Limited capacity of ours, again. In Ashtanga Yoga, you can understand Krishna because Ashtanga Yoga, you can lead only certain number of things, achievement. Then you have to come to Bhakti. Yeah. So these are the points. Very simple. All of you are correct. To make it in a way that is very easily understandable to the masses. This is how it is. Okay? All right? Wonderful. Anyone has to say anything else before we move on? Okay, Krishna, can you share the screen, please? Thank you. And can we have somebody else to read, please? Thank you. We need a volunteer. Prabhu. Okay, thank you. Did you read before? You had your turn?
No, sir, not today.
Okay, please. Thank you.
This sounds very simple, but actually understanding Krishna is very difficult. If we become devotees of Krishna, understanding Krishna is easy. However, if we try to understand him by jnana, karma, or yoga, we will be frustrated. There are many types of yogis, but he who is devoted to Krishna is the topmost yogi. Sri Krishna is far above all yogic processes. In India, there are many yogis who can display some magical feats. They can walk on water, make themselves very light or very heavy, and so forth. But what is this compared to Krishna's yogic mystic powers? By his potencies, great planets are floating in space. Who can manage to float even a small stone in the air? Sometimes a yogi may show a little mystic power by manufacturing some gold, and we are so foolish that we accept him as a god. However, we forget that the real yogi, the Supreme Lord himself, has created millions of gold mines and is floating them in space. Those who are Krishna conscious are not befooled by yogis who claim to be Bhagwan. A Krishna conscious person wants only to serve the foremost yogi, Yogeshwara. Varimna Sarva Yoginam. Because we are trying to become his devotees, we accept the Supreme Lord, Yogeshwara, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna himself states in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 55. माम् अभिजानाति यावान् यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तद् anantaram. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into Kingdom of God. This process is actually very simple. One must first of all realize that the first problem is the conquest of death. Presently, we consider that compulsory, but actually it is not. One may be put into prison, but actually prison is not compulsory. It is due to one's work that one becomes a criminal and is therefore put in jail. It is not compulsory for everyone to go to jail. As living entities, we have our proper place in Vaikuntha Loka. Tasmat tu bhavanyo व्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः यः सर्वेषु भूतेषु नश्यत्सु न विनश्यति अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तस्तम् अहु परमां गतिम् यं प्राप्य न निर्वर्तन्ते तद्धाम paramam mama. There is another nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, the part remains as it is. The supreme abode is called unmanifested. Annihilated.
No, please continue.
That supreme abode is called unmanifested and infallible, and it is the supreme destination. When one goes there, he never comes back. That is supreme abode. Bhagavad Gita, Canto 8, Chapter 20. Sorry, Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 8, verse 20 to 21.
So it's infallible. Infallible means doesn't fall down. Yeah. And annihilated means destroyed. Okay. Now read the translation again, please. Yeah. Thank you.
There is another nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. That supreme abode is called unmanifested and infallible. And it is the supreme destination. When one goes there, he never comes back. That is my supreme abode. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 20-21. Everything is present in Vaikuntha Loka. There we can have an eternal bliss, full life, full of knowledge, Satchidanand. It is not compulsory for us to rot in this material world. The easiest way to go to the Vaikuntha Loka is Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yo Veti Tattvataha. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 9. Simply try to understand Krishna. Why does he come? What are his activities? Where does he come from? Why does he come in the form of a human being? We only have to try to understand this and study Krishna as he explains himself in Bhagavad Gita. What is the difficulty? God personally explains himself as he is And if we accept Bhagavad Gita as it is, we shall no longer have to transmigrate Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma Naiti. Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 9. We shall no longer have to endure birth and death, for we can attain our spiritual bodies, Satchidananda Vigraha. Brahma Samhita chapter 5 verse 1, and live happily in Krishna's family. Krishna is providing for us here, and he will also provide for us there. So we should know that our happiness is in returning home back to Godhead, where we can eat, drink, and be merry in Krishna's company.
Jai, thank you very much, Krishna. Can you stop the screen share? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Hare Krishna. Okay, so with this we conclude today's chapter, this chapter number 2 of the teachings of Lord Kapil. Now, the chapter is called Transcendental Matter and Supreme Yogi. Yeah? Now, those devotees who have not yet shared their realizations or spoken, can you please take the lead? We want to hear what did you pick up from today's discussion. Yeah? One point, more than one point is fine. Yeah, we want to hear from those who have not spoken still. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And then those who have spoken will come to them. So there will be next stage. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, what I think something that I picked up was it was written in the paragraph that as sure as death, we say this. So that is how certain death is, and how certain the 4 stages of life are: life, disease, old age, and death. And another line on the similar line was that I feel that my friend has died, but I am going to live forever. And I think as young people, we are the ones who never think about it at all. We think that we are so far away from death, and like, especially being as a doctor, I resonate a lot with it, because I feel like I am seeing this disease in a patient, but that won't happen to anyone in my family, or that won't ever happen to me. But the more I see those patients, and if I read more about this in Krishna consciousness, like if I read books and I read these things, then it strikes me that something like this can happen to anybody, and not just can happen, it will happen to everybody. So that is something that is we should really think about that, and we should not think of ourselves to be immortal beings. And that also actually reminded me that once Avinash Prabhu used to take our classes on this book, I think a book, or it was a chapter, The Art of Dying. And he said that you have workshops outside and they say art of living, but we don't teach you the art of living, we teach you the art of dying. So these were some things that struck me from Vedas.
Yeah, so then with this, you have to be more serious then. No? How can you help your patients? How help yourself? Doctors, your education will teach you how to help patients. But who will help you? Krishna consciousness teaches you how to help yourself. Is it not so? As you correctly say that people, you see people suffering, you say, it will not happen to me. But it will happen to you. That is, once you have that realization, then you'll walk straight and narrow. Otherwise, the whole world is full of us, for us to walk. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes, we others, please join in.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for having this discussion. It was incredibly rich. And just 2 points that stuck out the most for me. First was regarding independence. So when you mentioned that we have to be financially, materially, and spiritually independent in order to be able to speak the truth, because truth should not be compromised at any cost, especially in Kali Yuga. And That was a very important point for me. And secondly, how you mentioned that all the decisions, they should be made with keeping the future in mind and learning from the past, but living in the present. And it's not possible to do that without it's not possible to do that with material solutions to problems. You have to find spiritual solutions to problem, and the best way to do that is to chant all the time. And we also discussed a lot of the points regarding chastity and how chastity of the mind is minding your own business. I think that was a very very clever point. So yeah, I think that's all.
Thank you very much, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It was a very nice chapter, very nice class. There was one point that struck out to me. It was that we're not at all in control of, in a material sense, we're not at all in control of anything. I think there was also a verse that was mentioned in the purport from Chaitanya Charitamrita where it was that the living entity is wandering up and down from one planet to the other, but they're by the mercy of the spiritual master and Lord Krishna, they're very fortunate to get devotional service unto Lord Krishna, get that seat of devotional service. I think that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that to Sri Rupa Goswami, I think. And there was also a lot of other paragraphs in the Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was talking about, there being innumerable, like there's 14 planetary systems within one universe. And the living entity, depending on their karma, goes up and down, up and down. And that's not our, how long are we going to keep going up and down, up and down? So that point really hammered home to me today, especially with, so many different verse references as well. And in the context of, even like the 33 million demigods are still, their roles, or they can also be like replaced, so to speak. Whereas Lord Krishna or Bhagwan is the only constant there. So everything, every entity is controlled by the Lord. Not every single entity, even Lord Brahma, even Lord Brahma is not 100% in control. So those points just struck out to me quite a lot today. Hare Krishna.
Yes, and there are unlimited Brahmas too. There's not 1 or 2 or 10 Brahmas. There are unlimited Brahmas. So unlimited universes. What are we talking about? Unfathomable, is it not? And here we are stuck in only one universe. And we are very proud about it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for taking the lecture so that I can understand some most basic questions of my life. So the one thing that I can take from this class is there's a verse that is coming from Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is saying that like we do not endeavor for having miseries in our life. Like we never say that I want to have fire in my house, or I have some miseries in my life, but we still get it. And it is like continued that similarly, whatever happiness that we get for our enjoyment, that is also it is also not in our control. So so what should we endeavor for? Should we endeavor for happiness or distress? So it is answered here that we should try to attain the position where we can understand Krishna and get shelter at his lotus feet. This should be the real human endeavor. So this is the one point that I can take from the class. And following up to that, that you have said, which is very easy for me to understand, and that was our prayers should be Krishna our prayers for Krishna and Maharaj is to ask them that please give me some time, please give me the situations that we can read Srila Prabhupada book more and more. So as because we don't know how much our life is. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. It is from Bhagavatam 1:5-18. No? That point. That it comes to us, you know. So you should not. That's okay. It will come in your study. You're in the beginning program. So it will come. Thank you very much. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for your it was a very nice class. There were so many points, but the point, although we keep on hearing the same, lecture, but still it just affect us like in a different way. We just try to purify ourselves in a different way all the time. So I really like the point that more we hear and chant the glories of Lord, more we become purified and happy. And the other thing that we should solve our material problems with the spiritual solutions, because if we try to solve the material problem with the material solution, there will be more problems, and it like the problem never stops. It's a cycle. But if we try to solve the material problem with the spiritual solution, then the solution is like very permanent, and it is satisfying that we have practically realized that as well. And for that, we must pray to Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, because there is a lot, power in the prayers. That's all I think.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ambarisa, thank you very much for your nice class. Actually, there are a lot of points to understand. Like the one mentioned that try to solve your material problem with the spiritual things. And also, you mentioned about the yesterday's mellows from our calendar that don't complicate the devotional service. Bhakti should never be complicated. It should be very easy and should be performed in any circumstances of life. So we should stop wasting our time in flimsy things and connect, always think continuously the Lord Supreme Feet. And also about Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. With this, our tiny knowledge, little understanding, we won't understand. So for that only, we should always connect to our devotional service. That's my relation. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Rashtraji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for giving this nice class. One point, actually, there were 2 points that stuck to me. One was the endeavor of for happiness and distress. That both comes as and when they want to, and we don't need to do anything for happiness and sadness. Of course, we do our duties. Of course, we do our we take up our responsibilities and do our work. But as happiness comes to us, distress will also come. So that was the one thing that came to me. And apart from that,
they don't come on their own. They come according to our karma, our happiness, our distress, our quota of it.
Yeah.
But Krishna is very kind that all distress will not come together, otherwise we can't survive. So it's spread over a period of lifetime. Otherwise, we cannot survive the kind of nonsense that we have done. Okay, please continue. Thank you.
And Prabhuji, one more point where the distinguishing between Jnana, Karma, Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. So this was the point which we were discussing in one of the Avinash Prabhuji's class, and we were discussing that all this yoga system actually comes into picture when we are doing Krishna consciousness. All this activity we are automatically performing because we are also following a regulative principle. We are also doing our chanting. We are also performing spiritual activities which automatically involves all these processes. So that way, Krishna consciousness is a complete process. It is not something which is different from all these streams. So that was another point that came to me when we were discussing that. So thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Very nice. Avinash was teaching you very nicely, all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for your nice class, Prabhuji. As today's my point is that as already Supan Prabhu and Dolly Mataji's mentioned that we should solve our our problems through the spiritual way, not the material way. Also, I point out heard from you that when we taking any decision or any decision of something, we learn from our past and think about the future, and then take the action accordingly in our present. So that is the that's point is stuck in my mind. And also the very first thing in the translation, we learn that Krishna is the superior of everything, and then he's the master of all the senses. So these some points, Prabhuji, I noted. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu, for the amazing class. And there are many points that I learned today. Some of them being that first point we discussed that we cannot solve material problems with material ideas. So when I was thinking about it now, so I realized that it is not actually solving material problems. We are just adjusting some problems with another problem, temporarily adjusting those with some another.
Very good, very good. Hare Krishna. Wonderful. Yes, please.
So, yes, so I was thinking about that. So rather than adjusting, we are not solving. For example, we have to sometimes lie in our job or with our managers or someone. But when we add spiritual angle to it, that I won't lie, I will only speak truth, and sometimes it's beneficial for us. People like that attitude. Like you pointed at one point that people will start getting attracted to you, but they won't know how, and we also don't know how. But there is something that making us special by following spiritual path. And another point I like about that Krishna is called Govinda, that we are Go means senses. So our senses are pleased when we hear from Krishna. And the point that Suchi Mataji was saying that we had this one Bhagavatam verse in Avinash's home program here. I think it was from Kapil Dev's only this chapter from Bhagavatam that whoever is chanting the holy name of Lord, he has already performed all the rituals in his past life. So I could understand that point and relate to it. And I also like the pastime of Maharaj who told us about austerity and uh, how the temple was created, and Maharaj didn't ask for donations to anyone. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the class.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the point, there were many points, but some points I understood and like this. Knowing is half achieved. So if we know about Krishna, it's half achieved. And anyone associated with Krishna is first class yogi. That's what we want to practice. We want to be first class. Like Prabhupada used to say, we produce first class men. So we need to be good. We need to be Krishna conscious. That should be our goal. And truth should not be compromised. Whatever we do, this is our mood. We should be honest. This is Maharaj's mood. We should be honest, and we don't criticize others. We criticize ourselves first. And also that bhakti is very dynamic. It cannot be contained in one pot. It is very dynamic. This is what I understood. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Prabhuji, thank you very much. See, one thing I wanted to clarify this point, to all of you, especially who are in beginners program. When you say we have to be honest, yeah. So we should know this, that honesty is not foolishness. People should not say that this fool is going to tell me honestly, you're going to tell him, he'll tell him. He is afraid of God. No, that is another thing altogether. You see, honesty comes at a price. Everything has a value, correct? So I always put my honesty at value to it. What are you giving me to give me honesty? Don't think it's going to come to you freely. Nobody who knows me can say that Ambarisa is a fool. In fact, all of them will say he's a very shrewd person. Man, you can't trust him. He's like a slippery slope, He's like a soap which doesn't come in your hand. Yeah, right. So please be very careful. Your life, you are very young people. Your life is just starting now. That doesn't mean you should be lying. I'm not saying that lying. Krishna will give you the intelligence. But all I'm telling you is that do not be fooled. Being honest doesn't mean you are foolish. We have to be very shrewd, very intelligent. Only intelligent person can think of future based upon his past experience and live in the present. Everything has to be taken together. Don't take the instructions in piecemeal. Otherwise, it will be a disaster for yourself. Put everything together. Why is he asking me this question? Because he wants this. Okay. All right. So because of that, he wants to ask me this question. Right. So why does he want to ask me from me? So I'll ask him, what do you want to know from me? You tell me this. Once I'm convinced, I'll tell you. You understand this point? Honesty is very valuable. And generally speaking, you'll be left alone. Nobody wants to deal with honest people. Everybody wants to be honest, but they're all dishonest. So if you like to be surrounded by people, everybody loves you, then don't follow this. You will not have people following you. Okay? You'll be alone. Yeah, but please be very careful. Honesty doesn't mean foolishness. Because all of you are very young, you're starting your life now. I don't want to tell you something which is going to be a disaster for you. Right? Right. Always value whom to say, what to say. If not speaking, you can always choose not to speak, right? I reserve my comments. You can say that. What do you think of it? I reserve my comments. You can say that, no problem, right? So what do you reserve? How long will you reserve for? Depends on what you give me. What is the value you're putting upon me? Value doesn't mean money. Well, we should see, man, what is this? You want just freely or what? So that's the reason why we very honest. I value personally. Maharaj also valued obedience, honesty, and somebody who stays with you. This is very, very important. For Maharaj, it's very, very, very important. And for me also, our currency is this. If we don't force anybody, you don't have to be. And we are not saying that we'll give you honesty, means we cannot cheat you. We will also cheat you. So keep your eyes and ears open against us also, against me also. I'll cheat you because I'm not perfect. Yeah, I'm also propensity to cheat. So please remember this point, right? Okay. Please continue. Please continue. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful class. My point was the same. I added a point of Kovida means intelligent. And I have also added these 2 points, intelligent, like, and that intelligent person should try to attain shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. And we human beings, if we are meant to, we are actually meant for getting in touch with the lotus feet of Krishna. And this should be our business, because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is writing that Krishna is stating here that he will protect us from all the results of sin. And he's not mentioning that do this or that, I'll maintain you. So if he's maintaining big animals, as mentioned here, elephants and everyone, 8.4 million of million species, then why he'll not maintain us? So this is the point I like. And where you also mentioned that we don't have to be foolish, we have to be intelligent. So yeah, because in Dharma book also, when we were reading with Avinash Prabhuji, there was a point mentioned over there that uh, intelligence is shown by self control. So if we are intelligent, we will not think there was an example of cigarettes, that when there is a little intelligent person, he will think like that, there is an advancement, how can I become cool by smoking cigarettes? So if you're intelligent person, you will know that these are Maya tricks and these are some contradictions. So the intelligent person will be self control. So this is how what I learned in today's
Yes,
class.
very nice. Thank you. Maharaj would say this, that man, his cigarette is cool. This is cool. He's putting fire in the mouth and he's saying he is cool. Yeah. So Maharaj would always laugh at this, putting fire in the mouth and say it is cool. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Babuji. Yeah, the point I like here, when you discussed about that, dependent on Krishna is one thing, but using Krishna for fulfilling your either money needs or power needs is separate thing. So, and you give the very practical example of Guru Maharaj, that how Guru Maharaj was telling when constructing temple. So it's not, it's for teaching us, like Guru Maharaj said that. So even we giving donation or we're doing anything, so we don't become proud. So we are yeah. So we know where everything coming from and where is getting used. And yeah, so this point I like. And another thing is, you said that financially independent and spiritually independent. So it's not like yeah, we are dependent. We are dependent on Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, our seniors. But it's not that if we don't be a part of some organization, we something missing out. It's not like that. So we still by the mercy of Guru Maharaj, we still receiving the knowledge. We're receiving all the things. What we don't feel missing out. Put it this way, probably. Yes. That's what I like. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you've been reading Prabhupada's books all these years. Has even one Prabhupada said that you have to, I don't know, if you do this, you can go back to Godhead?
No.
Yeah. So read my books, become Krishna conscious. That's what Prabhupada said. That's it. Yeah, associate with devotees. Yes, that's right. That's why we have got the organization. That is correct. Any time we say only if you do this, that you go back to Godhead inside the temple or whatever, No. Take advantage, yes, that's right. But this cheating is going on. We don't want cheating business. Yeah.
Yes.
And remember, the first point which you said, that donation, the time has come where you donate to yourself. And you do it rather than give to somebody else. You do Janmashtami yourself, you do Abhishek yourself. Why don't you do all this? We teach you. You see?
Yes.
This otherwise people don't want to do it. It's their choice. But I'm telling you, this is futuristic. This preaching of we are doing today you may not see it, but 10, 15 years, 20 years, 70 years down the line, if it continues, you'll say, there's so much value in this. I may be gone and dead and buried. Probably you also must be gone. But some of the juniors who are here, they'll be very old, They will have their youngsters in their team, So they will say, hey, this Ambarisa was speaking correct in the program, This is happening today, So you do it. Don't depend on anybody else. Jai, Hari Bol. If it stops, then you do it. Doesn't stop, you continue. Ahito kiya pratihata. Yatma suprasidati. Yeah. Uninterrupted. Devotional service should be uninterrupted and unmotivated. So it can be uninterrupted only if it is unmotivated. The moment you've got motives, then it becomes interrupted. Only if I do this, it will happen. This is very, very important. Maharaj used to speak so much on this point, And one devotee came to me. I want to meet you. He was estranged by Guru Maharaj, Some disciple had gone away. He had come to me, talking to me. So I want to talk to you. I said, come. Yeah, I'll speak to you. Bhagavatam. We spoke Bhagavatam and I said, we discuss this verse. So then I called Maharaj, Maharaj, this happened, this devotee came, this disciple came. I said, yes, Maharaj. I only told him to come to you. So I thought so, Maharaj. So I was trying to ring Maharaj when he said, I want to meet you, but I could not call Maharaj. Maharaj was not well, advanced age. So after that, I said, okay, he's coming, let us meet. And I spoke about this verse, Ahito kiya pratihata. And I told him, you are here in my house because the bhakti is interrupted. I will not come to your place. You see? So then afterwards, when I spoke to Maharaj, I said, Maharaj, this is what I told him, that you are here because your bhakti is interrupted. He said, that is correct. Maharaj said, this is right. This is correct. Because bhakti is interrupted, that's why he's here. So we should not interrupted bhakti. You can be anytime you can continue. These are very, very important. These are fundamentals of bhakti. Fundamentals of bhakti. Yeah, Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, father did not have a big temple in a congregation. They were still devotees, is it not so? Okay, anyway, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you very much for your very nice class. There are many points, but one point that actually got me thinking when we discuss this actually karma, jnana, and yoga. So, and the underlying point that you made is the knowledge. And even I was thinking, like, even that all links up when we actually study the Srimad Bhagavatam, that even when we actually following the Bhakti Yoga process, I think knowledge is still critical, because without having a complete knowledge, maybe even our detachment or renunciation might be incomplete, because we may be again speculating. That's why I think it makes sense when Srila Prabhupada says that, yes, you don't need to read the books, but can you chant purely, but you can't, to just to purify chanting, he has written all these books and all that. So it makes sense, the knowledge is still actually has a great value, that we cannot say that we don't need to study books, and we can just chant and do the service and we can go back. Because I think real detachment will only come when we are in complete knowledge. Yes, Prabhuji, that's the point. I think I found it actually quite interesting. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. And as I always say, Prabhuji, that otherwise people will cheat you. They say, you must do like this. Only then it is possible. They said, then what to do now? You see, if you do not know. Like, for example, I remember one devotee's home, another devotee came. And he said that, it was very advanced devotee. He said that you have a daughter, you must have a son, otherwise you cannot go back to Godhead. She cannot burn your body, by the time of death. So he called Guru Maharaj. He said, he's senior to me, He said, Maharaj, what do I do? No, I said, don't worry, that's okay. We are devotees. Don't worry about this. You see? This is the point. And that is correct in a way that putra for the son is needed, for a chitta. But there is bhakti is not stoppable for anything. You perform devotional service, you can go back. So any small or big catches are always there. And if we do not study, we will not know. Then we are dependent upon somebody else. So somebody tells me this, I said, okay, where's the praman? Or I find the praman, Send me the praman, I'll check up and I'll let you know. What is the reference been given? What is not reference is there? I'll find out the whole thing and then understand and follow. So yeah, that is very, very important. Knowledge is very, very, very important. And those who are not interested in philosophy cannot remain in Hare Krishna. We have got this specialty of Maharaj. Although we are not very expert in this, but we have books. Books are Prabhupada's books are our worship, are our deities. Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So with this, have we completed? Or is anyone remaining? Sir? Okay, all done? Right. Anyone has any questions so far about what we discussed today? No. Okay. I think we've short past our time. Right. So whose turn is it now to sing Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us?
Say, Navina.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी.
हरे कृष्ण नवीना जी, आज तुमचा टर्न आहे.
काय प्रभुजी?
आज तुमचा टर्न आहे सिंगिंग
हाँ.
करायचं. हो
हाँ.
हो
हो.
हो. कसे आहात तुम्ही? बरे आहात ना?
हाँ, छान आहे प्रभुजी.
खूप छान, खूप छान. थंडी वाजत नाही ना खूप?
नाही, तुम्ही कसे आहात?
हो, मी पण ठणठणीत आहे. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. खूप आभार. अच्छा, चला मस्त पैकी सिंग करा, ऍक्शन करून. ओके, आणि आम्ही फॉलो करतो मग. ओके, चल 1 2 3 सांग, सिंग, गा.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing.
If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
And if we are dirty,
And if we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we're not happy.
Wasting time
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
is a wasted mind.
So best use your time
So best use your time
when you're in your prime.
when you're in your prime.
And your whole life
And your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime.
If your wealth is gone,
If your wealth is gone,
then there's nothing wrong.
there's nothing wrong.
But if your health is gone,
Then your health is gone.
that's a different song.
That's a different song.
But if your character dies,
But if your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior
Only saintly behavior
lets humanity die.
lets humanity thrive.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna.
We must always remember Krishna
And never forget him too.
and never forget him too.
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here is the greatest clue.
And here is the greatest clue.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must learn so work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely.
So listen very closely
And make your thinking sharp.
and make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
If something's due tomorrow,
If something's due tomorrow,
finish it today.
finish it today.
And whatever's due today,
And what else due today?
do it now, don't delay.
Do it now, don't delay.
If your friends might be lazy,
If your friends might be
Not if,
lazy,
not if. Again.
your friends might be lazy,
your friends might be lazy
or doing bad things.
or doing bad things.
You think again,
You think again,
don't follow them,
don't follow them,
and you will win in the end.
and you will win in the end.
Whatever work we're given,
Whatever work we given,
we do our very best.
we do our very best.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live, to work and to play. If we learn to live this way, we'll see Krishna every day.
To live, to work and to pray. If we learn to live this way, we'll see Krishna every day.
And when our time is up, he'll take us off above. We'll sing and dance with him with our hearts full of love.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
So chant Krishna's names, his glories and his fame. It's the only way this world will ever become sane.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. This only way this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest question
Now please ask this greatest question
and find this greatest clue.
and find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna
You can only remember Krishna
if Krishna remembers you.
if Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Suryaneshwara Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees,
Hare Krishna.
all glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastava Vitara Shrimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namini. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastava Vitara Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini. Namo Saraswati Devi Namo Vishnu Vishnu. Okay, Hare Krishna. So Krishna willing, we'll see you next week. Same place, same time. Just before we go, how do you guys find this session? Is this too dry or it's too advanced, not too advanced? We keep it very broad based, very this thing, not too much heavy situation. There's a lot of chapters remaining in this book. Yeah, how do you guys find it? Just a feedback.
Yes, Ruji.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not too high, or you've kept it down to everyone's understanding, on this. As I said, Prabhupada are very expert in this. Yeah. Okay. All right. Krishna willing, we'll see you next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.